Shalom. And first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Makakadash. Double honors to the apostle, the elders of GMS who rule well, and peace and salutation to the elect Akim in the four corners, person of truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you. This is another video. I know it's not in season right now, but just in case somebody could be stumbling, across, one of these flat earth videos, or it could have been a stumbling block to them. Allow me to bring some clarity to it, because you had a lot of people fall out over the flat earth doctrine around Passover. Here we are approaching another Passover, and we're hoping that, we do hope the leaven does get, taken out of, but, we can only hope and pray for our own salvation, for that the Most High will be done, because we got to work out our own salvation. We can't work out another person's salvation. We can help them, encourage them, give them insight, foresight, and hindsight, but you have to work out your own salvation. You got to look at man in the mirror and see what's going on. But anyways, I want to open up with a scripture that kind of pretty much just shuts all this up before we even start. Because one of the things they tell you about the flat earth doctrine is that the earth is flat and it's lying on pillars. It's pillars that are supporting it. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 58. Matter of fact, let me start with verse 56. This is talking about the Most High's majesty. 2nd Ezra 16 and 56. And his words were the stars made, and he knoweth the number of them. He searcheth the deep and the treasures thereof. He hath measured the sea and what it containeth. He hath shut the sea in the midst of the waters, and with his word hath he hanged the earth upon the waters. So the waters is talking about the heavens, because you have in Genesis chapter 1, you got the firmament that separated the waters from the waters that are on earth and the waters that are in the heavens, because that's what the heavens is the waters. Verse 58 again says, he hath shut the sea in the midst of the waters, and with his word hath he hanged the earth upon the waters. So the earth is hanging on the waters, which is basically not pillars. These pillars that's supposed to be supporting the earth does not exist. So if we can just go off of scriptures, just off of that should be enough. But let's see what Esau has to say. Because some, brothers, unfortunately, they walk by sight, not by faith when you're new in this thing. So they got to see, scientific evidence and all that type of stuff. And some will be provided for you, for those that are young in his faith and that walk by sight and not by faith. Okay, this says, you cannot see Kawakini from the peak of Manu Kea. Manu Kea, the highest peak in Hawaii, the summit. Now, before I start off, this article is about, top 5 reasons, the earth is not flat. 5 impossible facts that would have to be true if the earth were flat. So back down here, number 4, one of my favorite ones out of this, it says, you cannot see Kawakini from the peak of Manu Kea. Now, these both are islands, both peaks, and they're both in Hawaii. Okay. It says, Manu Kea, the highest peak in Hawaii, the summit of the Big Islands, offers incredible views with nothing but the ocean around it, and a few other nearby islands. You should be able to see extremely far away. The island of Kauai has the seventh largest point in the Hawaiian Islands. So it's talking about two different points in Hawaii. Reading on, it says the peak known as Kauankini. If you were to draw a straight line from Maui Key, elevation 13,796 feet, to Kauankini, elevation 5,226 feet, it would span a distance of 303 miles. However, you cannot see one from the other, which you would absolutely be able to do if the earth were flat. Exactly. Because if the earth is flat, you should be able to look forward with some binoculars, a telescope, and be able to see it. But you can't. Reading on, it says, with a curved earth of its measured radius, the line of sight limit for those two elevation caps out at 233 miles. Only with a curved earth is one visible from the other. Only with a curved earth is one invisible from the other. And this is true for any two mountain points with clear line of sights from one to the other. Read this caption. It says right here, it says, with a large amount of atmosphere to pass through, light from the sun or moon reddens tremendously when it's close to the horizon. Different locations on the Earth's surface, particularly at different longitudes, experience sunrises at different times. So I'm going to read this next one. It says, sunset and sunrises happen at different times depending on your longitude. If the Earth were flat, then someone in New York and someone in Los Angeles would see the sunrise and set at exactly the same time as one another. But in practice, the difference is approximately 3 hours. Not only that, but at every point in between, the sun rises, sets at a different time. Something that could not happen if the earth were flat. The fact that it can be evening in New York and late afternoon in Los Angeles, or morning in New York while it's still before dawn in Los Angeles, is something that a flat earth cannot account for. If the earth were flat, these 5 phenomena would be very different, and yet, so we didn't read the other 3. But anyways, it says, if the earth were flat, these 5 phenomena would be very different, and yet they are so simple to verify that any flat earth believer cannot possibly doubt their veracity. Whether it changes anyone's mind is up for debate, but without resorting to space, circumnavigation, or any advanced scientific experiments, you can experience a whole handful of phenomena that a flat earth can't account for. With a flat earth, we'd only get lunar eclipses at midnight. Everywhere would have the same season. Every location would see the same stars. At high mountain peaks would be visible from one side, from one another, and every place on earth and every place on your side of the earth would be sunrise and sunset at the same time. Since these are false, so is the flat earth. You know, the flat earth never made sense, because just like the apostles said, you know, what if the earth is flat? How does this, affect your salvation? You know, are you so headstrong on teaching that the earth is flat that you're willing, to split up the camp just so you can teach this doctrine? Because the scripture says, why when everybody come together, everybody got doctrine, everybody got revelations, sometimes keep that shit to yourself, because it could be a demon on you. And sometimes keep it to yourself because it's irrelevant. There's ways of getting stuff vetted, and just bring it before the apostles. And if not, then chill with it, because you don't want to lose your salvation, bugging out, thinking that you over righteous, trying to prove something that actually is not even true. And on that note, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of GMS who rule well, and peace and salutations. Shalom.